morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning. Yes, the beautiful reminder of choice that we all have. And what's the choice that we have? Well, we have the ability to choose our thoughts, to give meaning to that which is fundamentally meaningless, which is at the core of everything that we share here at Elevitality. We're so happy that you're here. We're so happy that you're using this information. We're so happy that you've been joining us on this journey to implement that beautiful truth. It's so amazing when you tap into it. It's so amazing when you shift the narrative inside intentionally to look for the good, to see that life is not actually happening to you, it's happening for you. See, that movement, that shift changes everything for you. And if you've been joining us here on these calls and have been using what we've been sharing with you, with what we've been sharing with you, you've been feeling that. Hasn't it been amazing? Type in the comments hearts if that's been the case for you. And for those of you who are just joining us who haven't been doing that, if you will follow along and apply what we're talking about, it will affect you beautifully as well. It'll change everything in your life to the point of where you'll be saying, oh my God, why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I act on this sooner? Why didn't I change this? Well, that's not going to matter. But even though you say that I said that, what's going to matter most is that you have become awakened to it. And again, that's what's beautiful. All right, so I want you to write this in your notes because this is something that I say frequently, and it's something that's shared in, a matter of fact, I just shared it with the beginning of what I just said. Write in your notes, everything is fundamentally meaningless. Everything is fundamentally meaningless. Everything just is. Nothing is good or bad. It's our thinking that makes it so. So again, everything is fundamentally meaningless. Now, I remember the first time that I heard that, I said, what? That's stupid. That's dumb. What do you mean everything is fundamentally meaningless? Well, it is. But see, you don't get to see that until you actually start to change the meanings of that which is there. Now, think about the importance of that. It ties into the way that I open up these calls. Well, the importance of that is huge because those meanings, they lead to feeling. And that feeling is the attractive force in your life. Think about that. You can control how you feel. You can lead yourself into a state which then will determine what comes to you and what's repelled by you. See, that's what we studied in our lives. Both Dolly and I, we've tapped into that when we both went into this realm of coaching or mentoring. It's something that we had to lead ourselves into and something that you can do for yourself beautifully. It's just a matter of application. Now, what have we been studying that's tied to that? Well, again, this beautiful gem here, and we're approaching the end of this, and that's okay. It doesn't matter if you're here at this specific time. Here's another thing that I want you to consent to as well. You're going to hear exactly what you need to hear when you need to hear it. Now, with this beautiful gem, the Master Key System, um, oh my gosh, it's been amazing. And as you're in this, make sure you're taking notes, but more importantly, make sure that you are applying it. Now, with that being said, the next book we will be studying is this beautiful gem here. There is no such thing as self-sabotage. Oh my gosh, yes, we're going to dive deep into this beautiful book. Make sure you have your copy. Click on the link that we provide to you to get your copy so that you have it when we go into it, so that you can underline and highlight these beautiful gems that are in here. All right, so let's get into this, shall we? Let's go to where we are in this beautiful gem of the Master Key System, of which we are in the glossary. Okay, I'll put this here on the screen. And the page that we're on is page 412. 412 in this book, okay? Now, precedent. This is something that we touched on at the end of the last call, and it's something that's very important to understand. Thomas Troward talks about this when he talks about entering into the spirit of it. And he references a phrase, and that phrase is the triumph of principle over precedent. The triumph of principle over precedent. See, precedent is something antecedent in matter, manner, or form, which may be cited as an example, model, authority, or justification. In a nutshell, what he's talking about is precedent is based on experience, it's based on your past, it's based from maybe a decision that's been made in the past that has led you to a specific outcome. You can look at precedent as what the law world, in terms of the human law world, uses to make decisions. You'll find that when a judge decides on something, the lawyers will come in and pull in a precedent based from a previous judgment that was made on something that may have been similar to what they're going through. See, the human world operates from, that precedent. But here's the thing you've got to understand is that principle triumphs over the precedent. Precedent is there, but if you live your life according to that precedent, you will continue to get the same outcome, the same continued judgment. And guess what? That doesn't lead you to different results. Now, again, really think about that. Think about how important that is for you. Think about how important it is for you to not make your judgments based on the past or what's been happening in your life. Now, we'll dive into what's next. Predominant, superior in power, influence, effectiveness, having ascendancy or control. Now, what is that when you're thinking about your mind? Well, what that is it's what's moving in your mind overwhelmingly. The predominant thought in you is what determines what you're going to do. It determines everything in your life. Now, when you think about what is predominant in you subconsciously, it's your mindset. Now, this is something that a lot of people hear about, something that they may know about, but they really don't get it or understand it. Your mindset is what's set in your mind. What's set in your mind are your beliefs and habits. Those beliefs and habits are automatic. See, those beliefs or habits are what's predominant in you. If you do not change the predominant thoughts or movement that's inside of you, I have news for you. Your results will not change. They will not lead to something different. You can think of it this way: the predominant thought is the king of the mental kingdom. The kingdom of heaven is the kingdom of thought. Whatever sits longest, whatever's planted there, whatever's taken root, whatever sits longest on that throne of the mind will rule your world. Now, again, really grab onto that. Why is that a big deal when it comes to all the thoughts that are within you? Well, it's a big deal because you get to decide what the predominant thought is going to continue to be. You don't have to consent to things as they are. You don't have to accept at all that how you've been thinking is the way that it's going to be. You can move on to something completely different inside of you. Now think about that. James Allen talks about that. Those things that are fixed, whatever they are not a fixed condition of things. Whatever's been planted there can be removed, it can be replaced. And that right there is amazing and incredible. That's what is going to be absolutely incredible for you if you make the decision to make the right thoughts predominant inside of you. You can make it so that it's in harmony with this. Make this your predominant thought. Make your belief in how you would love things to be with this being that, the predominant thought in your mind. Guess what will happen? This will take form in your outer world. It'll take shape. It will take shape. Now, let's move forward. Premise. A proposition laid down, proved, supposed, or assumed that serves a ground for an argument or conclusion. What's the premise here? What's the proposition laid down? A foundational assumption or a starting truth. That's what a premise is. You can look at premise as a seed of logic. Whatever you plant in the soil of reason will grow into that conclusion. So you get to decide what the premise is. You get to decide whether this is going to be your premise, whether or not this is going to be your truth. Remember, you get to decide on that. You get to accept or reject. You get to move on that for you. Now, before we move further, for those of you who are watching this live stream, and if you love to tap into these calls to the end of them and watch the recordings, then go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind. You will thank yourself later.